Hi, Katya. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yes. All right. All right, good. So let me put my link in here for my webinar for you to sign up. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. So let's just wait. We have 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes before this place gets lit on fire. Yes. We got 3 minutes before the place is on fire. That's right. That's right. Let's go. Because you know what? Your mind is educational and it's inspirational. Yeah. It's all of those things. Because I'm Sharon, the faith coach. And I like to inspire. And I'm a teacher by trade, and I like to educate, and I like to educate and inspire. Yes, 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 yes. Encourage, motivate, all of those things. All right, so we're going to get started in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that, depending on your time. But we always need encouragement and motivation. Yes, Katya, that's it. And yours, you are always motivational yourself. I hear Katya talk so many times, and yeah, great podcast, great show on Facebook. I like inspirational, and the speakers were just dynamite today. Dynamite. That was awesome. Awesome. Hi, Shanae and Myra. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have about 2 minutes, and then we're going to start rolling on this thing. We're going to start talking about business. Let's go with our business. Yes, that's what it's about. Yeah. So how you guys liking this? We're going to end with a bang. We started with a bang. We had a bang all during the day, and now we're going to end with a bang. How you guys liking all this so far? Don't everybody talk at once. Loving it. Yes, finish strong. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Kathy, it's been great. Awesome energy, Shanae. That's right. It has been. Yeah, yeah. So we have about 1 more minute before countdown, before this rocket takes off. That's it. All right, everybody. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm Sharon, the faith coach. I hope you guys are well. I hope you are. Let me start out by saying that Mark 9:23 says that all things are possible to those who believe. Mark 9:23 says, all things are possible to those who believe. Do you believe you have something in you that you were born with that is a gift that God has given you? Do you believe that you can do something with that gift? Like, for instance, start an online business that can make you money, that can give you financial freedom for you and your family. I'm Sharon, the faith coach, and I've come to light this place on fire by igniting that gift that lives inside of you. Because if you're like me, it's been stagnant because of fear. And the fact that you guys are here, the fact that you have shown up for yourself for this conference during this time of challenge in the world is amazing, because there's so many people who don't show up for themselves. So I applaud you. You know that all things are possible to those who believe. You know it. You know it. And let me tell you, I know it now too. But there was one time in my life when I didn't know it. And although I have created several businesses, yes, every time God downloads something to me, I go and buy the domain. I have about 20 domains that I've bought. I buy the .com, the .net, and the .org. So every time he gives me something, I just get proactive and I say, you know what, God, I know you're going to do it for me. Yes, but there was one time, even though I created everything I created, and yes, I call myself a CEO, the president, the owner, the boss. We have to walk into it. Yes, we have to walk into what God says about us. That's right. But there was one time when I wasn't so confident. And this is the thing, I didn't know it until I got out of it. And I looked back and I was like, wait, hold up. You mean to tell me you weren't as confident as you thought? I wasn't. But that's okay, because don't you know that the past, our past and our lives is to get us ready for everything we're going to do today and everything we're going to do tomorrow for other people, particularly women. So I was afraid. I lived in fear. I lived in fear, fear of judgment, fear of failure, and fear of success. How many of you can identify with that? Put it in the chat that you can identify with that. That you maybe have lived in fear. You might be fearful now, but let me tell you, the fact that you've shown up for yourself is something about showing up. When people show up for themselves, they start showing out. It just happens like that. You understand what I'm saying? And let me tell you, that gift that you have inside of you should not scare you. As we grow up, when we were really little, we had a gift that we knew because we were just out doing everything so fancy free, so liberating, right? And then as we've gotten older, people have dashed those dreams and that gift that God has put in us. Why do you think God put that gift inside of you? To just be stagnant like I was? No, he put that gift in us to have leverage, to create something from, and to be fruitful and multiply. Don't you know that you can make money from the gift that God has given you, and you don't have to feel guilty or convicted because of it? God put it in you to do something with it to help people. So when I was little, I was a speaker. I was a reader. I was a writer. And I used to read the dictionary and use like 3 to 5 words on my family. And they were like, what's she doing now? So I would read the dictionary and use these words for retention. And I don't know if they knew what I was doing. They were like, what's Sharon doing now? She's always doing something. But my mother knew, my single mother knew that I was going to be I was destined for something. And she treated me as such. And what I'm saying to you is that when we are inhibiting our gift, when we are sleeping on our gift, that is not God's plan for us. It's not. This is why things like this, these women conferences, are such a great thing for us to be able to go forward and do something. Even if whether we're on the stage or whether we're watching, the fact that we are here, it's no accident that I am here at this given nanosecond. Sharon Shannon, D Faith Coach. Come on, somebody. I am D Faith Coach. I am your faith coach. Yes, we have to speak that thing, right? And it's no accident that you are here as well. It's no accident. You understand what I'm saying? So I used to read and do all of that. And then as I got older, I let dream killers get in my way. So it took me forever to start my business. It really did. It took me forever to start businesses. You understand that's a plural. So I'm no longer afraid. Back in the day, late in the midnight hour, I used to just be down on myself. I was really down on myself because I felt like I should have been further along in my life. And as a result, I didn't move. I just went through the motions every day, going to work, taking care of my boys after my divorce. I was going to church. I was serving at my church. I was getting degrees, and that was all fine. We need to do those types of things. Nothing wrong with that. I was not neglecting my responsibilities, but late in the midnight hour was another thing. Late in the midnight hour, let me tell you something. I was down on myself and I was not talking to God. Now, do you think God had those things for me? Do you think He has those for you? He doesn't. I was not utilizing my gift, what I really wanted to do. And then one day, when I was at church, my pastor said, Sharon, I want to see you. So I remember I was like, okay, he wants to see me. Okay, I got something special. I got a gift that he wants to talk about. All right, let's go. So I meet him, and it was like his office and the first lady's office was like between a little lounge area. And great people, both of them, wonderful people, wonderful church. And this was like in 2013. So I'm talking to him, and he said, God has told me what's been happening at night in your room. And I'm like, you would say, what? Yeah. He was like, and he started reading my mail. He started reading my mail. And let me tell you, I started boohooing in there. And I told him that I was down and out, that I felt like I didn't have any friends, that I couldn't trust people because of past betrayals. And I wasn't living my life to the fullest. I wasn't operating in my gift. And he knew all about all of that. He even knew about my gift. He even told me what I was going to be doing now. He prophesied it, and he saw it in the spirit. But I'm not going to get super spiritual on you, because some of you are like, oh, no, it's nothing spooky about it. Don't you know God will meet us exactly where we are? And I remember before I left this office, there was like a big ball of Kleenex, of white, just Kleenex, like a ball, because I kept just, that ugly cry is so embarrassing now. But you know what? Don't you know sometimes in life we're going to be embarrassed or frustrated, but sometimes, listen, that is for our breakthrough. And when I left his office, because I couldn't find the garbage can. I was looking for the garbage can. There was no garbage can in there. And he was like, I'll do it. So anyway, so I get home that night. And when I got home that night, let me tell you, it was a breakthrough night for me. I cried for hours. But let me tell you, the next morning, I no longer did the robot show. How are you? I'm fine. None of that. I did my job. I did all the responsible things I was supposed to do. But let me tell you, I had a new pep in my step. I said, I am going to start living my dreams. I'm going to start doing this thing. And let me tell you, I started doing it, and I never looked back. I never looked back. And as I started developing more things and more businesses and started doing everything I wanted to do, and plus some, I'm not doing everything yet. Look, the vision is way out. It's a lot that I'm going to be doing, right? But anyway, as I started doing all that, God just kept downloading things to me. And as a result, guess what? People started asking me how I was doing it, how I started creating everything. And I'm going to read to you in a few minutes the things I started doing with the gift that God had given me. I was no longer afraid. I was no longer afraid of anything, because I figured people could say what they wanted to say. They could laugh at me. It didn't matter. I was on a mission to do what it is I needed to do, and I never looked back. Okay? And I was no longer afraid of failure. What if I fell on my face? It would be so humiliating. I wasn't afraid of that, because don't you know, when God told you to do it, He's going to make sure you get through it. He is. And how many of you are using your gift? How many of you are sleeping on the gift that God has given you to create something beautiful that can make you money in your life? Some of you have more than one gift, but all we have to do is concentrate on one of those gifts, the primary gift He's given us, and we could turn it into a business that can make us money. Katia today in her talk said there's nothing wrong with making money. That's what businesses are for. And if you say, well, Sharon, I want to do a nonprofit, you have to raise money to do it. Walmart, who doesn't love Walmart and Target? They help us out a lot, right? But they make money. Okay? Don't feel bad for making money doing something you love that you can get up every day and say, wow, it doesn't matter what anybody is saying or not saying, doing or not doing, thinking or not thinking. I'm on a mission to get what God has for me. And I'm going to go forward with that gift. Yes. And I was no longer afraid of success. I was no longer afraid of, like, what if everything works out and I become more visible? Listen, I was no longer afraid of anything. I was walking in boldness, not unrealistic boldness, calculated, God-fearing boldness. And let me tell you what I created with my business, plus some. Okay? And what you can do too. And this is what I train women to do. Because people they kept asking me questions. How are you doing it? Sharon, how did you do the business plan? How did you start the website? I didn't create the website. I know how to create them now, but I create them for me, not anybody else. When I used to braid my hair and I used to get the long extensions, everything, I did that. I learned that by YouTube. And as YouTube came about, or I used to watch people back in the day who used to do it, and people would say, Sharon, can you braid my hair? Nah, no, I can't braid your hair. No, I can do it for myself. So when you start that website, I can help you navigate through the website, but I can tell you how to get it started. I started my blog. It was a free blog because don't you know, when we do something, God will turn it into something big. Okay? We just have to start it. So I help women start it, and I help them leverage it. And I help them with all the support I could give them. Look, I'm going to give you what I didn't have. I didn't have anybody helping me. So I can tell you all the hacks and say, no, don't do it that way, sweetheart. That's going to take too long. Let me tell you what I learned. Let me tell you how you can create this really quick. Yes. So I wrote new goals. So every day I was getting up and I was like, let's go, God. What's next? Let's go. I did audio and video apps. I'm an expert with some of them. Yes. Multiple businesses, as I said. I started Facebook book ads. If you follow In Sharon's Heart on Facebook, it's about 16,000 people who love God, who follow me, and they get everything I got. It's a supportive group. How did I do that? From 2016 to now, how did I do that? I started with $5 ads, and then I went to $1 ads. And I was bringing value to women who wanted to change. And that's how I did that. I got a pro photographer. And I got a little fancy with my website, but this is what I would recommend to you. Don't spend a whole bunch of money on the website. I got a good deal on my website. Okay, I really did. But I know how to go in because I'm a teacher by trade, and I know how to go in and change that. I also bought domains. Remember, I told you that when God drops something, I start running with it. Come on now. Habakkuk 2 verse 2 says, write the vision and make it plain, and those who read it will run with it. How many of you are writing down your vision? How many of you are writing down your vision? How many of you want to create an online business that can make you money and you can help people? Yes. I help emerging and aspiring faith-based business entrepreneur, women, business owners, aspiring, want to do it, or veterans who want to own something, create something based on what they love. For financial freedom, to help their family. What do you want to do in your life that you haven't been doing for your family? You can do it. So everybody else is living your dreams. Why? It has your name on it. You look at them. You're not jealous. You're not envious. You just look at them and you say, how dare they? They're living my dream and I'm getting the crumbs. No, God didn't create us for crumbs. No, that's your dream. It's only one you. You might say, Sharon, tons of people are doing it. They're not doing it because you're not doing it. You're the only one with your DNA. There's one. There's one Tanisha. There's one Elga. There's one Mary. There's one Ivana. There's one Julie. Come on, somebody. I started writing ebooks. I started writing workbooks. I started 3 podcasts. I started developing courses. I write curriculum. I have an advanced degree in curriculum. It comes easy to me. Remember, I'm a writer. It's a gift that I have. It's not a problem. So I have e-courses. I got coaches and consultants. I now train coaches. Come on, somebody. Won't God do it? We have to know our target market. And this is some of the things I do. Now you might say, well, Sharon, how did you get all that done? How did you do it? When people started asking me, I said, it's something called my faith model. You see that? I told you I'm a teacher, right? You see that visual? My faith model. They said, well, what's that, Sharon? I said, well, when I got up that day and I was a new creation, I started walking in the path God had for me. And I was saying in the spirit, move out of my way, because too many of you have kept me down. You've muzzled my voice. Every time I said I was doing something, you would talk me out of it. It was my choice, though, because don't you know that nobody can make us think or feel nothing. But that was when I was in a weakened state and I let it happen. But no mas, no more. So how did I do it? I did it with my faith model, AKA the ABG model. Every day from then to the rest of my life. And this is a cycle that can, you see the arrows? They continuously repeat themselves. Just look at it like the water cycle or the rock cycle. At any given moment, there's something happening in that cycle, and it keeps going. And sometimes we don't see it. As the earth is spinning, as our blood is flowing, the faith model is at work. So what I started doing was I started speaking over my life. Nothing negative came out of my mouth anymore. Nothing. I said, God, I want to create an empire. I want to leave an inheritance for my children's children's children, because Proverbs 13 verse 22 said, a good man, woman will leave an inheritance for his children's children. And if we train our kids to do that, don't you know we will have continuous wealth in our family? Some of you are the first ones to do things in your family. You're the Joseph, the one that they wanted to outcast and put in the pit. But God said, oh no, you had a rough start, Joseph. But guess what? Joseph went to the pit to the palace. That's right, blessed. Some of you are Davids in your family, hated by his family and friends. And when Samuel got to the house of Jesse to anoint David to be the next king, God told him to do it. Jesse paraded all David's 7 brothers, tall and handsome, because Jesse wanted one of his sons to be the king. And Samuel, the prophet, was like, don't you have another son? Samuel was like, I know what God told me. And Jesse said, yeah, I have one out in the field. He said, bring him in. I'm not going to sit down until he gets here. So he brings him in. And let me tell you, when Samuel was putting that oil around the brother's head, that oil wasn't moving. But when David came, that oil was flowing, 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 just like it is with some of you. Some of you have the oil flowing because God has anointed you and nobody can stop you. Nobody can block what God has for your life. See, I'm passionate about helping women because I know how it is to be counted out. So I started speaking the affirmations over my life. When people would ask me, Sharon, how did you do it? I started speaking it. And when I started speaking it, guess what? I knew what Psalm 139:14 says. God made me fearfully and wonderfully, that I know full well, in his image. How could I fail with using my gift to create the greatness that God wanted me to create to help other women, online businesses? I was no longer afraid. And then I started believing, because I know what Hebrews 11-1 says, that faith, and I'm the faith coach. Come on, somebody, put your hands up in the house. Is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. All right. I saw the vision since I was a little girl of where I wanted to be. My mother saw it in me. She knew I saw the vision. God bless her. She passed away years ago. I try not to remember the year or the date. All right. And God has a vision for us. I see the vision in the spirit. It's not available yet. It hasn't been fully manifested. It really isn't, as long as we're on this earth. But he's moving. All right. I'm on an international stage right now. Do you think this is a surprise to me? And I'm not bragging. Okay. I'm not. I'm just telling you what I've always seen for myself. And some of you see things for your life. Don't you stop seeing those things. Don't let anybody stop you. Just be careful who you tell, because the gift that is inside of you can be created into a lucrative business for you. I'm telling you. And then They were like, well, Sharon, what else? I started working that thing. I started getting up every morning, and instead of listening to talk radio at going to on my way to work and on my way to on home, every time I got in the car, I started listening to music radio. I stopped doing that. I started listening to talk radio, who was talking about something that could help me in my life. Well, I would put in a cassette. It was back in, back then, or whatever I needed to put in, right? Or CD or whatever. And let me tell you, I started learning everything I could. And when I got home, I stopped sitting on the couch. I have TVs in my house, but I haven't had anything on my TV. I don't even know how TV sounds here because I haven't had TV, internet, or cable or anything like that for 6 years. I started grinding every day. Every day. See, some of us, and some of you, my problem was I didn't want to move because I was so embarrassed about making videos. I was so embarrassed about putting things out there. I was so embarrassed about starting a blog and all of that. But when I woke up that day, I was a new creation, and I said, I'm not going to live my life like this anymore. So I started grinding every day. That's why this presentation is called How to Use the Faith Model to Grow Your Business, to Build Your Business, to Leverage Your Business, to make you money, to change your life, to bless somebody, to be a blessing. So what I do as a faith coach, I train fishermen to fish for themselves, which are in the form of hungry women who are sick and tired of not having help, who are sick and tired of not moving in what God told them to do for their lives. You might say, Sharon, what is my gift? Your gift is whatever you do without thinking about it. That people tell you, that people who are not afraid to speak into your life because they're not jealous or intimidated, right? You listen to those people. It's whatever it is you love to do since you were a little kid. And it doesn't matter what happened in your past. Let that be fuel to drive you. Do you know that whatever happened in your past, whatever's happening in your present is for you to help people. And you have an audience who needs to hear your voice. And once you identify with that gift, and that's what I'm going to help you with when you join the webinar, okay? I'm going to put the link back. And when you join this webinar, it's a webinar that's going to help you. Oh, that's my Instagram. Let me put my webinar in there. Hold up. All right, so this is the webinar here. So, but you can follow me on Instagram too. That's not a mistake, all right? But anyway, so what I'm saying, guys, is that you can't let anybody stop you from living with the gift God has given you to create something great from it. And what I do is I help women who want to create a business, an online business, because again, I created several of them, plural, okay? And this is just the beginning. I'm telling you, God shows me a lot, okay? I walk my dog every day and God downloads things to me and I'm like, gosh, God, I can't do everything, all right? Sometimes we want to do too much, right? I understand it because a lot of us are visionaries, but God says, hold up, one at a time. So I help women cultivate that one gift, right? And what you do, once you decide what the gift is, right? I say, okay, now we're going to create this product, right? And you could get a free website. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't spend a whole bunch on it, right? We create a product for that. And then you pick one platform, Facebook, if you like to write, if you like to post, YouTube, if you love videos. I was intimidated by videos, but I did it anyway, because I was like, I'm not operating in fear anymore. And if you like audio, I help you with the podcast. I help you with everything that was on that list. And then what we start doing is we start targeting those people in your realm of influence, and then they start buying your product. You just have to continue to show up for yourself. And it's really that simple. It takes work, though. It's not easy. All right. And that's what I help people with. Yeah. And again, it's the faith model. And that's how I did it. And that's how I do everything. It's just a cycle that continues to repeat itself. All right. So you guys have any questions? A great message. All right. All right. So anyway, ask me anything. I'm going to leave this time for questions. But listen, guys, I'm on fire. I'm on fire because, again, I know how it feels to have a voice muzzled by people who wanted me to build their dream. And I was like, enough is enough. I'm not doing it anymore. Thank you, Marlis. You know, and so with the grind and the faith model, all right, the grind, the scripture there is James 2:17 that says faith without works is dead. We can't have just faith, and we just can't have, speak it and affirmations, but we're not willing to work at it. So if you need someone to help you, get the help you need. Okay, sign up for stuff. All right, buy into stuff. All right, the ladies on these panels, they don't have expensive stuff that they offer today. They probably do because they're business women. All right. And listen, when we're business women, we can charge our value. Do not devalue or undervalue yourself. Sign up for what they're giving away. Okay. Buy into it. Invest in yourself. All right. And the more you do that, the more you will grow in your personal life, your emotional life, and your business. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I had to do that myself. And my life has changed because of it. So the webinar is July 25th between 11 and 12. It's an hour. We zone in on that gift. I answer more questions about my gift and how I continue to cultivate it. So sign up for that. The link is right there. Click link. That's it. All right. That's it. So guys, listen, thank you. Needed to hear this. Invest in yourself. That's right, Amisha. Invest in yourself. All right. So guys, I'm the faith coach. I come to you bearing gifts and saying, you can do what it is that lives in your heart. Create the online business that you want to create. COVID-19 won't be here forever. What are we going to say when it's all said and done? Did we come out the same, better, or God forbid, worse? This is a great time to invest in yourself. It's a challenging time, nevertheless, we know that, right? However, though, we have to use the faith model, okay? And the attitude that we're going to have with our business, okay? You might say, Sharon, what's up with this model? Look, I'm a teacher, and listen, high school teacher. I've been a teacher for over 23 years. And let's listen, this was nice, right? Check it out. That was pretty cool. I have it on a PowerPoint too, but don't you be trying to steal my stuff. This is my stuff. Anyway, guys, my time is pretty much up. It's almost 5 o'clock. But anyway, guys, I wanted to listen. This started with a bang. I wanted to end with a bang. And just know that you can create what it is you want to create. I want to reiterate that because some of us are so just stagnant and so inhibited in our walk because of fear of judgment, fear of failure, and fear of success. Don't you owe it to yourself? Don't you owe it to your family or your future family? Or don't you owe it to, look, the world is going to open up. Where do you want to travel? Don't you want to have the money to be able to do that by doing something you love? I take you by the hand and I'll tell you how to do it. All right? And that's what's up. All right, everybody. I'm gonna give you the Air Force salute. You know, I was in the Air Force for 11 years. I loved it. And maybe I could talk about that some other time. That was supposed to be part of it. And let me tell you, I got fired up. We used to say fired up and ready to go when I was in the Air Force. Yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful Air Force. That's why I love this Canada stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it because it's international. Thank you, Dwayna, for everything you're doing. Dwayna Peel, y'all. Yes. To create something like this is amazing, isn't it? Hands up. Put your hands up for Dwayna. Yes. I just love it. A woman doing her thing, a businesswoman, CEO, president, owner, boss. Let's go. Boss ladies, that's who you guys are. Yeah, and thank you again for showing up for yourself. Appreciate it. Yes. I'm over here dancing. Thank you. All right, Dwayne. All right, good, good, good. Yeah, next time I'll be standing up and I'll be dancing off my, look, Beyonce don't have nothing on me because let me tell you, When I'm feeling down, ask my dog Diesel. He's like, go, mom, go. And I'm like, I look in that mirror and say, you beautiful girl, even though I'm not feeling beautiful. Look, positive affirmations, power words. Come on, use that faith model. That's how it was done. Seriously, that was it. All right. Thank you, Ivana. Thank you. Great conference speakers, Dwayna. Yes. Impressive. Thank you both. All right, Kamisha, Julie, Dwayna, Tamisha, Marisa, yeah, something like that. I just torn up your name, girl. Sarah, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going over to the booth. And that's it for me.